Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Good morning. Welcome again for this webinar this week. We were delighted last week with a webinar which was very interesting and very benefitable. I hope this one, inshallah, will be also interesting and you can benefit from it in the coming academic year. Ms. Sulang from Microsoft, Customer Success Manager in the Middle East Cluster. She will be with us. By the way, for last session, our last webinar, it was already in the YouTube. Who did not attend last webinar, he can see it recorded in the YouTube or in college website. Ms. Sulang, your stage is for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So today the agenda is two main components. However, they will take most of our time. The first one is the assignment tab. So we will deep dive into the assignment tab to see how we can benefit from auto grading the assignments and from rubrics to make it easy for us to grade students that are doing research, that are doing presentations or anything in that regards. On the other hand, also we will shed light on Class Notebook. It's a very useful tool. It is a real digital transformation from paper to like electronics. So these are our items on the agenda for today. Let us get started. So as you know, we will have like two. This is the account of my child. So by the way, if you have a student that are sharing the same device, and since this is opened, I would like to tell you that always make it in private so that whatever you send them as assignment, because we will speak about it, it will not have any sort of problem, because sometimes the browsers do memorize the username and the password. So this is one point before we proceed. Okay. So let me go back to my account as a teacher, and here we go. We have Microsoft Teams, and we will directly go to the assignment tab. Okay. Everything can be done online using the application or even on your mobile phone. So most of the things that we will discuss today, you can do it even on your mobile phone. You can check the student work, you can grade them, you can return the assignment also using your mobile phone. And this is the beauty of Microsoft tools. So here we go. This is, let me double check that I have the student over here so that we will send it to a student and we'll see how they will react with us. Okay, great. So we have a student over here. I'm going back to the assignment tab. So these two tabs that I will discuss today will come by default to any class type, to any team of class type. So when I click on the assignment, I will go to create. And from here, I will have three different options. Number one, it's called assignment. So when we hear the word assignment, we thought or we think that this is only dedicated for homeworks that are to be done at home. However, this is not the case. The assignment here refers to any work that you are asking to be done from the student in the format of writing a reflection, using PowerPoint, using Excel, taking pictures, uploading PDF, uploading video, any kind of assignment that requires the student to prepare some sort of work or to do the assignment on a paper or on a certain thing that they need to upload. Now, what is the quiz? Quiz is intended for everything that has to do with auto grading. Means that if I have, for example, questions like multiple choice, true or false, fill in the blanks, select multiple questions, reading text, something that requires or something that is easy for the computer to autocorrect or for the software to autocorrect. So this is what a quiz stands for. So it doesn't mean that if I'm sending a quiz for the student, it should be a quiz, a graded quiz. It could be for any kind of reflection. Now, you will have also something called from existing, and this is very much beneficial. So whenever you create an assignment on any of your classes, all these assignments will be saved for you so that you will reuse. So for example, this team over here, I did it for the last academic year. Now, I kept it here so that I will reuse the assignment from that classroom. Now, what I can do at the end of each year, I can remove the student from that team and keep the team as it is as a backup for me or as a resource for me. So I will use it for the assignment. I can use it for the class notebook. We will see today how we can reuse last year or previous teams. Okay, so let us get started. One more time, I will click on create and I will start with the quiz because this is the thing that we all look for because we need something or some artificial intelligence to help us grade the student work. Let us start with the quiz. When I click on the quiz, it will open for me the window of Microsoft Forms. I'm not sure if you are familiar with using Microsoft Forms, but this is the way to send surveys, for example, or to do auto-graded assignments. Now, as you can see, all your previous works or previous forms will be saved for you by the title and by the date so that you can know how to reuse your forms. Now, if this is your first time creating the form, you have to go on a new quiz from here. When you click on a new quiz, it will open for you Microsoft Forms in a separate window so that you can start doing your assignment. Now, here we have the title. As you saw, the title is very important because this is what you will see when you will pick your quiz. So here, try to make it as descriptive as you can. For example, we can say math 101, lesson 1, or you can go deeper and say, for example, probability. So this title will help you later on to know what is the content. That is why try to make it as descriptive as possible. Okay, so what else you can do here before we start with the questions? You can simply select a nice theme from here. So we have a lot of themes, or if you prepare your own background, you can click on the plus, customize it by searching for a certain image online or uploading from the computer or taking it from your OneDrive. So for me, as of now, I will pick, for example, this one to have it as a background image. Now, also here, next to the title, you can customize the image. Here, you can put the logo of the university or the college. You can put the logo of your department, like, for example, for the math department. You can do whatever you need. Again, once you click on the image, you will have 3 options to search it quickly online. Let us search for Ibra College if we find something online. So this is the Bing Microsoft searching engine. Okay, let us see if we will find something. I'm not sure if any of those pictures reflect anything about the college. Is this the college?
No problem, anything. This is the building of all building.
Okay, great.
Yeah, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, fine.
Okay, great. So just for you to reflect or to relate. Okay, so this is for the image. Now let us go ahead and customize the questions. I will click here on the add to start building the questions. As you can see, we have several types of questions. We have choice, text, rating, date, ranking, uploading a file, a new section. So Likert, this is more used in surveys and polls. And net promoter score also, it is used to get the feedback of the audience or the student or teachers. So these are more used into a survey. However, if you want, for example, to get the feedback about the difficulty of the exam or something like this, so you can put it. But this is not a question that is auto-graded. Let us start with the choice. So I will click on the choice. And here, as you can see, I can start with two choices. So this could be true or false. I can add more options, and this could be select the right choice. And here from the three dots, I can say drop down. So it will be like fill in the blanks by selecting the right one of those. And also what we can say that this has a multiple answers. So in this way, rather than the radio button, it is changed into a box. So the student can pick more than one option. So the first type of questions, which is the choice, can be can be twisted in the way you need according to the questions that you have. Okay, so I will try to write anything just for now to show you how it works. Now, the most problematic way of doing the questions online is to write an equation. So how to achieve this? How to write the equation using Microsoft Forms? So in here, next to the three dots, when you click on it, you will have a math as an option. When I click on the math, I will have this one opening for me, and it is telling me enter an equation. And under enter an equation, I can start customizing the equation I need. So for example, we can make a square root of 4 plus, or we can make it like this. So we can make space and then say plus this one over here. So this is the cube of, for example, 27. It could be simple and it could be sophisticated. So here you can go for the plus. You can go for the, for example, summative from 0 to infinity, for example, or from 0 to x, I don't know. And here you will write x plus y. I'm not sure what I'm writing, but it could be any kind of equation that you have. Now, let me remove this just to show you the artificial intelligence. What is the artificial intelligence? When you start typing an equation over here and you click on OK, it will give you the right choice and other choices, as you can see. So the right answer here is 5, and you can benefit from alternative options. So this is the artificial intelligence that is trying to solve the equation that you are writing and trying to give you some suggestions for the choices. Now, all you have to do is to click on add all, and in this way, it will work fine, okay? Now, we will remove the multiple answers because for this problem, here we will say solve the following. It would be better if you share with me any exam that you have for your student, and we can try to make it digital. Okay, on the other side from here, when I click on the question, I will have here the points. So I will put, like, for example, 1 point from here. Okay, and I will put it as required. What does required means? Required means that the student cannot submit the exam if he didn't solve this question. So in this way, they cannot tell me that I didn't pay attention, I forgot to do it, I press on submit. So this way, you will force the student to solve each question on your form exam. What else we have from the three dots over here? Also, we can have shuffle options. And for shuffling options, for example, each student will have different distribution or different order for the choices. And this way, they will not, like, if they are staying next to each other, they will not be able to cheat by saying the order. Okay. So this is for the first question. Now, if I try to click on add new from here, look what I will get. I will get several suggested questions related to the same concept that I started. So in this way, if I'm doing a practice for my student, all I have to do is to click on add all, and I have 4 ready questions ready for me so that they will practice on it. Okay. So any questions so far? We covered a lot. Any questions so far from the audience?
Yeah, there is a question about is it possible to specify the timings? What time they have to take it like that?
Yes, we will. Yeah, we will speak about this. We have 2 choices as well. Either if you want to make the form as a standalone, you can use it with your Moodle, for example, or you don't want to put it on Microsoft Teams. We have here under the 3 dots, we have something called settings. And under the settings, if you go down, we have starting date where you can specify the date and the time, as you can see. And we have end date so that you can close it on a specific date and time as well. However, if you want to send it via Microsoft Teams, we will do these settings when we are finishing the assignment in Microsoft Teams. So we have also over there certain settings that you can use. Okay. Any other question? Okay, good. Now, let us continue. So this is for the choice, which I said it could be true or false. It could be multiple choice. It could be multiple answers. And it could be like a drop down where the student will, for example, you are writing a sentence and they have to fill it up by a drop down menu. Now, we will go to the next type of questions, which is the text. From the text over here, for example, I will tell the student a question. I don't know, anyone have any idea of a question that has which course we use or we study risk management, for example. For example, I'm just typing anything just to see how it will work. So in this way, I'm asking the student to write for me one specific word. It could be probability, it could be statistics, it could be something like this. So when you have a question that you have only one answer, you can use text. Now, here under add answer, you can put any answer that you need or any answer that you consider as correct. So for example, for that question, I consider, for example, probability to be the answer. Also, I consider statistics. Okay. So I will write all the options that, according to me as a teacher, if the student wrote it, it will be considered as correct for them. Now, if you will tell me, we have like the answer will be 3 words or a sentence or something like this, you can do it. However, as a teacher, you have to revise it because in that it will be difficult for the auto grading because we have to look at the context, we have to look at the grammar mistakes, we have to look at the dictation mistakes. So in that it will be complicated, so it will not be auto graded. So in here I can add a question of type text, and I will say describe how you do testing for COVID-19 risks, or how to do sample testing. Since we are speaking about probability and like statistics, describe how to do sample testing for studying COVID-19 risks. So here the student has to really write a long explanation where he will speak about the sample, how they will take it, how what is the formula that they will use to do the statistics, to use the probability, to see what is the probability. So they have to write a lot of things. That's why you will come to the long answer from here and you will activate it. But pay attention here. As you can see, we don't have a right answer, so it depends on you as a teacher to come and grade this specific question. Okay, any questions so far on this?
Yes, ma'am. There are a few questions.
Yes.
The first one is it possible for you to give some example for English? Maybe you can consider in the next question when you choose.
English? Okay.
Yeah. Because now you have given for
if they can share with us any sample, it will be much easier for me. But I will try to Google something. Let them give me the topic and I will try to Google it. But on the things that I covered so far, any question?
Yes. Can we make sure that student does not share the answers?
How they will share the answers?
Actually, inside that it is not possible. But if they are doing it in external like WhatsApp or something, then we cannot deny it.
This form is restricted by users. So even if I, as a student, send you the form, if you are not, we will see it. We will see it. We will see how we can restrict that only my student in this grade will receive this assignment, and how they will receive it. Okay. But I mean, do they have any question on whatever I covered so far? Because I spoke about multiple type of questions.
Yes. Yeah. When choosing multiple options, will the students get a hint that there are more than one answer?
Okay. Let us do one question like this. Okay. And we will play the role of the student and you will see how they will interact with this one. So, for example, Ibra College has several, for example, several campuses. Select the right or select them. And here, for example, I will write, give me names, help me in this. Dufar, for example, I'm trying Slal.
مسقط نزوة.
Okay. Nizwa.
سلالة.
Okay. Salala. So here I will go to the multiple answers and how to select the right answer. So for example, we will say Nizwa. Nizwa is the right answer. So I will go here to this tick and I will tick it. Now this is the correct answer. And Dufar, for example, this is the correct answer. Okay. Now we will see when you do preview from here, you will see the layout, how it will look like at the student perspective. So if we go down, The red asterisk from here tells us that this is a required question, so we cannot like skip it. If we go down, it will not tell them. However, when it turns from a radio button to a box, in this way, they have to know that for this question, we have to select more than one option. So this is the only hint, okay? It will not give them another hint. However, you can select all the possible options or choices, but when it turns to a box like this versus here it is like a radio button, the student should know that here they have to select more than one choice, okay? Okay, look how nice it is, the logo and everything. Now, since you said that you need something for the English, so for the rating, again, this is not it's not a question in the exam. It's more like how you rate this exam, how difficult you see it, something like this. For the date, this could be, for example, select the date where, for example, this president or this sultan took over, something like this. So in this way, they have to select a date. Now, since you need something for English, I really recommend the section, this one over here. So when you go down to the section, in this way, I can put a text and all related questions will be under that text. So here, for example, I will say, read the following. And let us go to search for a reading text sample to take any text just to show it for you. Okay, the British Council, great. Okay, beginner, intermediate, upper. Okay, from here. So this is the exam, choose a reading lesson. So this is the text. Okay, great. So this is the text. It is very nice. So from here, I will copy it as it is. Okay. Copy.
Yeah, while doing this, ma'am, there's one more question about multiple choice. Can you make the answer as an image?
No, unfortunately not so far. However, it is coming very soon. Very soon you will find here, like now you can make it either as a text or as equation. But soon you will find here the image option where they can upload it as an image. A lot of changes is coming to Microsoft Forms. Stay tuned. This year they have a lot of things on hand and they are working on it. Okay. Now, as you see, I added this text. So this is the text for the student. Okay. Now here I will go and say add a new. Let us go back to this text from British Council. And it's saying, like, for example, task number 1. So task number 1, we had already the questions. So let's replicate this kind of questions. So from here, I will take this. Okay. I will go back to the form. So this is more like a choice, and we will see how we can do it. It is normal to find. And here, okay. So here I will say like this, like space, and I will continue. Okay. Now, under the 3 dots, I will say this is a drop down where the student can, for example, write the specific, it's normal to find it hard to breathe under, for example, how many meters? Anything here by meters? Okay, under, this is the correct answer, 2000. So here we will say 2000, here we will say 1000, here we will say 3000, and this is the correct answer, so I'm taking it. Okay, so this is the first way of doing it. Now, if we go back, we can make it also as a text so the student can fill in the blanks. So here I will take again the same, like the second question. Under the add new, I will take the text and I will put this one like this, fill in the blanks, and I will continue it in this way. Okay. So the same type of question, we did it in two ways. The first way was like a drop down, where I'm giving them the choices. The second one is by putting for them like text, and they have to write it, and they have to write it well. The summit of Everest in how many hours? So if we go back, summit of Everest, training, 42 days, for example. So this could be the answer. So here under question, it will be 42 days. Now here, look at this. If the student write 42 days, it's correct. If the student write only 42, it's correct. So this is what I mean by putting all the choices that to me, it is fine that, and they will take the grade. Now here I will put, for example, 1 point. Here I forget to put the points, 1 point. So far we had, for example, a text, and alongside the text we have the questions, okay? So this is more related to the English, correct or no? Let us see if they have another type of questions. So here it is more like a multiple choice, and you know how to do it. So I think we covered all types of questions. Okay, let us download this worksheet. We will use it later on. Okay, so anything else that you need me to go through in the forms? Anything not clear for your side? So again, when you finish, click on preview to check how the student will collaborate and interact with this form. So here, as you can see, it's writing hi Solange. So the Microsoft Forms will detect your name from your username. That's why you cannot share it between each other. So it will only open if the teacher selected your name in that classroom. And if you send it via Microsoft Teams, so you cannot share it with other students, when you click on submit, nothing will be available there. Okay, now, since we are writing it in this way, and we care about that the student will not see the result until I, for example, grade this assignment. So we will go to the 3 dots and we will click on settings. Now, the first option here is show result automatically. In this way, the students, after they submit the assignment, what will happen is that they will see the right choice, and they will see whether they answered it correctly or no. In this way, they will have a feedback about the correct answer. If you don't need them to have this information, just go to the settings, 3 dots settings, and disable this one, show result automatically. So just disable it in this way. Okay, now when you assign this form to the student, they will finish, they will not know which is the correct answer and which is the wrong answer. Okay, so any question on here?
Actually, there is many questions here.
Yes, yeah. Let's take them one by one.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Can we post an audio for the listening quiz? So as an examiner, multiple choice, can I give them audio files?
Okay, I will give you the solution when I speak about class notebook. We can do a lot of things over there, but here we cannot insert an audio.
Okay, ma'am. And what about, can I share the same set of questions to another teacher?
Yes. So here, from the settings, they remove it. Settings, it should be 1 minute. Let me see. Oh, not from the settings. Sorry, from the share from here, the teacher will go to share as a template. So when you click as share as a template from here, you will have this link. So when you copy it and you give it to the teacher, I will show you how it will work. So here, make sure that you don't put it as anyone with the link. You can change it from here to only people in my organization. How you can change it? You have to click here and you can change it to only people in my organization. Now, I'm a teacher. I prepared this form. I will click on copy from here. I will send it to the teacher that is teaching the same, for example, course. So I will go to the teacher from here. I will click here on to have a new window. I will paste it. Now, when I paste it, I will see duplicated. You see this word duplicated? Duplicated is as if I'm taking a copy of this form. That's okay. So here to double check my identity, I have to put my email address. Okay. So duplicated means I will take a copy of this form. If I change anything, it will not reflect back on the original copy, and I can reuse it with my student. So as you can see, you will have Math 101 probability copy, and it is in my name. Okay, so now I can reuse it. Okay, so this is as simple as it is. If I go back, it is under the shared. You can go as share as a template, as if I'm sharing like a Word template, PowerPoint template. Now you can share a form template, copy it, give it to the teacher. She will click on duplicate it, and she will have it in her own forms. Now she can reuse it, she can edit it, she can do whatever she needs. Okay. Any other question?
Yes, ma'am. How to restrict access for only one time?
Okay, so from the settings over here, you can say record name, one response per person. You see it? So they have to log in with their username and password, the Ibra College, and then when they log in, you will tick this one response per one person. This means that they will only be able to respond to this form once.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, another question is it possible to select all the multiple choices in Word document and upload as a form?
No, not available. As of now, it's not available. However, in the future, they are working on something like question bank, where this can be done. But as of now, you have to do it as I showed you, copy paste one by one.
And okay, ma'am. Another question is, if students select all options for the checkbox, so will they be given mark or not?
We will try it, but I guess no. We will try it. Now remind me to try it when we send it to the student, okay?
Okay. And ma'am, is it possible to make a question pool so that there are around 3 or 4 sets of question papers I have, and it will shuffle automatically?
No, we don't have something like this. We don't have. However, we have something like branching. Let me show you what does the branching means. So for example, as you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 questions of the same type of concept. So I can go to the first question and say here under the 3 dots, add branching, okay? So what will branching do? I will direct the student according to his answer. So for example, if he answered it correct, no need to go, for example, to question number 2, which is very similar to the same question. I will say go, for example, to question number 3 and skip number 2. So here, if he answered this one, I will say go to question number 2 because you are missing this type of questions. Okay, so this is what we have, which is called branching. This will help me, for example, to skip questions according to the result. So here we usually do it in a format of adaptive learning. What does adaptive learning means? So you prepare 3 sets according to 3 levels. And you start with the most difficult question, which will be the first question. And according to the answer of the student, you will direct them to maybe a less sophisticated question, or maybe to a similar question, so that you will give them chances. However, if they solve it correct, they will go to the higher level, where they will be more challenged. So this is the idea of branching. It is very nice because even also you can include one of the questions to be a video, not an audio. So let me do it. If I go back here, I can go and select one of the questions, for example, text. And here, rather than having it as a video, as an image, I will select video. So if you have, for example, a video Red Riding Hood, YouTube, let us go to YouTube. Okay, listening, for example, let me write here, listening. This could work with you if you have it as as a video. So look at this, listening for IELTS, for example. So this is the listening. I will copy this image, this URL, sorry. So I will copy this URL from here, go to Microsoft Forms and post it. And I will add it. So now what you will have is that you will have, rather than an audio, you will have a video, okay? So you can record that voice or that text on a, for example, PowerPoint, change it to MP4, put it on YouTube, or put it on your OneDrive, and you will have it in this way. So in this way, you will have the recorded session or the listening, and here you can add for it a specific kind of questions, okay? So this is one alternative for the audio, and this is also for the adaptive learning if the student is stuck. So I give him a question that is similar to give him another chance, and then I give him a lower question, and also he is not answering it in a correct way. So maybe I can direct him using the branching to a video to for example, to understand more about what I'm testing, and then I will direct them back to my exam. So if you know Khan Academy, this is how Khan Academy works. Khan Academy works on adaptive learning, where the student will be given certain set of questions, and according to his answers, they are directed either to the higher level or to the same level or to a lower level. Okay. Any other questions on this?
Yes, ma'am. The one is, can we download the entire set of questions and answers from the students?
Yeah, we can. I will show you this one. Okay, anything related to what I'm explaining right now?
Yeah, right now what you are saying is about, can we randomize?
Can you randomize? Now, if you don't have the branching, if you didn't put add branching, and you didn't put the sectioning, which I did for the reading, if you go to the settings from here, you will have shuffle questions. You see it, shuffle questions. Now, this is not available for me for two reasons, because one, I put a section, and sections for them is like shuffling, because you are having different kind of sets. And also because I'm doing branching, because also branching, as I mentioned, it is directing the student toward a certain question related on their answers. So if you don't do those two, the sections and the branching, shuffle questions will be available for you. So you can click it and you will shuffle the questions for all the students. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. So the other one is, during the quiz online, when it is going on, can we lock that students not to access any other things in Teams, only to MS Teams?
Okay, so that is another story. As of now, we have something called test mode. It is for Windows 10 devices. It is a long one. We don't have enough time to show it for you. I can share it with you, Gino, as a video, and you can share it with the audience that attended today. However, that solution only works with Windows devices. So the student has to be on a Windows device, on a Windows 10 device, so that this will work with them. It will lock all the screen. It will open only the Microsoft Forms. When they submit, then they will be back to the normal window of Windows. So that is called Take a Test Mode. It is a website where we will put, you will click here on share. You will put this URL in that website, and then it will make it as a Take a Test mode where it will freeze everything. However, you have one condition. The student has to be using Windows 10 devices. They cannot be on their mobile phones or on an iPad or anything else. Okay.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So if you don't have any question on the forms, we can proceed by going to Microsoft Teams. From here, we will say create a quiz again. And now the forms that we did it over here, which we name it like Math 101 probability, I will have it on the top of the list, and the date is referring to today, today's date. So now I will select it and I will say next. In this way, I have all the forms uploaded. So the title will be automatically written for me. The form will be uploaded for me. Number of points will be written for me. So all I have to do is I can assign it for multiple classes. This is your question. However, we don't recommend it. We don't recommend it. Sometimes it's making some errors. So we recommend that you can reuse it, as I showed you before. Now you can send it for the whole classroom, or you can click here on plus and you can tick the students. So in this way, as if I'm preparing two different sets. The first, like student that that their name starts, for example, with A, C, F, I will give them this set, and the rest of the student I will assign for them another set of questions. So this is how also you can work around in sending different sets for the student. So either you can send it for the whole classroom, or you can pick the student that you need them to do this assignment. Now, we have here something very important where, for example, through the academic year, you might have some kind of shuffling between students. So some student will be added to your section, some student will be dropped from your sections. So when you have a new student added to your section, you don't need them to miss the assignment that you already sent it for the rest of the classroom. That is why you will go here to the edit sign, and you will say assign to all students added to this class in the future. So from now on, whenever any student is added to your section, they will have automatically all the assignment that they missed so that they can redo it. Now, if you are fine that whoever is coming late will be like exempted from the previous assignment, you can tick this one where it's saying don't assign the previous assignment for the student. So this will give you the choice whether to give them a chance to do the previous assignments or just to start from scratch. Okay. Now, I told you that we also can do the settings from the assignment in Microsoft Teams. So here, I will go to the assignment will be passed immediately with late returns allowed. This sentence, I will click on edit and we will see what we can do according to the timings. We have several options. The first option is to schedule it to be assigned in the future. So even if I prepare the assignment today, I will schedule it tomorrow, for example, after my like live meeting with my students. So it will go automatically after, for example, 10 o'clock. In this way, I will make sure that they will not see the questions before I am with them in that section. So from here, I will say a schedule to be in the future, for example, tomorrow, but now we can make it today just to show you. And we can select a specific timing, as you can see. For example, it is 9, let us make it at 10. So it will go to the student at 10. Now, here I have a due date and I have closing date. What is the difference between the two? So due date is as if as a teacher, I'm saying class, you have until tomorrow to submit your assignment. Anyone who submit this assignment later than tomorrow, it will show me that you are late. Now, I can give you like a grace period of around 1 more day. And after this day, it will be closed for you. So if you didn't submit it, you will take 0. This sentence is translated to ticking the close date from here and setting the date to be like, for example, 1 day more than the due date. However, even if you did it in this way, you will still see that the student is submitting the assignment late if the time exceeded September 8th. Okay, so however, taking this closing date means you will not accept any assignment after this specific date. Okay, now I will click on done. Then I will go to assignments and where it will be as a notification. So you remember last time we had here like channels, one for example per theme, one per unit. So all of these you can set the assignment to be sent as a notification on a certain channel. So you will click here edit and you will have all the channels that are available for you. Only the public channels. You cannot have it go to the private channel. Okay. Let me press on schedule and start taking your questions till it is 10 o'clock so that I will play the role of the student to show you how the student will interact with this assignment. Yeah, what are your questions?
The one is, can you repeat that particular sending the quiz to students? The process of sending the quizzes to students.
Yeah. So rather than assigning it to the whole classroom, you will have the second option, which is assign to a student. So all they have to do is to click on the name of the student. Okay, just clicking. Okay. Hello?
Yeah, your screen is not.
You need me to show them?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I will repeat it like create a quiz from here. This one, next. So here, rather than saying assign to the whole classroom, which is the name of the team, I will click on the plus sign and I will tick. You see, I will tick. Now here, I only have one student. That is why I cannot see except one. But each student to tick it, they will have this sign here and you will have the number of student up. In this way, only those students will receive this form. The other student will not receive it. Okay?
Okay, thanks.
Okay, any other questions? We still have 4 minutes, so you can benefit from this timing.
Yeah, one question is, if it is a long question and what the students write the answer, it should be manually graded. Then once we complete marking, how do we add it to the total mark?
It will be added automatically and we can showcase it now after we play the role of the student. We will again play the role of the teacher and see how we can grade the assignment.
Okay.
The question is here again, can we lock tab during quiz in MS Team?
Already
No,
requested.
we cannot. As I mentioned, we have only take a test mode, which will apply on Windows devices, Windows 10 devices. And I will share a video with you so that you will share it with the rest of the team. Okay?
Is automatic group option available?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I will get you the video in a while. Okay, we still have 3 minutes to receive the assignment. Let us prepare ourselves. So we will go to the team, which was this one. Okay. Till now, we didn't receive the assignment, which was called Math 101 Probability. We will see when it is done. Here, we will receive the notification just to make sure that the students are receiving the assignment on time. Okay. We have more space for more questions. Any question?
3 questions here.
Yes.
Do students need to download MS form and OneNote? No, it is automatically available in MS.
No, yeah, exactly. It is automatically available.
Can you please show? Yeah, we are waiting for the student show only. It is starting at 11
Yes.
o'clock because the time is set as 11.
Yeah. For you, 11. For me, it's 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other question on this?
Can the questions number go randomly? Yeah, shuffle can be enabled if you have no branching.
Mm-hmm. Correct. No branching and no sectioning. Okay. So, yeah, tell me.
If a quiz is prepared in Moodle, will it be possible to integrate in MS Teams?
If in Moodle and you have the link for that question, yes, it could be done. For sure, it would be done. I'm not sure how you do the assessment in Moodle, but if it is like a link, you can do it, and we will show you how we can assign a link for the student, assign a worksheet, assign all this kind of things after we finish from the quiz. We were just giving some time for the questions because I feel you have a lot of questions concerning the assignment.
So long, this is with one case study. Can we ask many questions and still continue with other questions? I don't know what is this question.
Yeah, I didn't understand it.
Dr. Habiba, you have to ask the question by yourself.
Okay, great. They are added with us.
I received it from my one of my colleagues at the department. They prepare case studies, and under the one case study, there are several questions coming up.
Okay.
So he will just prepare the case study, add it, and then create the question.
Yes, correct.
As
a section, as I showed you in the text. So this could be a case study.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. So this is the question. Okay. Any other question?
Can students have multiple attempts and get the highest mark? So if they set it only one time, they cannot. Yes.
No, they cannot. Yeah, if you need them to have multiple attempts, it will be the recorded attempt will be actually all the attempts will be recorded. All the attempts will be recorded. Nothing will be written. Okay, so you will have all the attempts, and you, for example, at the end can pick which one. However, when you do it in Teams, it will automatically lock the multiple attempts. Okay, you can see it. It came on time at 10 o'clock. Now I have the exam as a student. I am the 1T here. I will click on view assignment and I will start playing the role of the student. Let us see how the student will interact with this. And the beauty about this is that the student can do it via mobile phone, via anything. So here we go. This is the exam. I will click on it. So for example, if you want to get them to a like assembly hall or something like this, where you have the distance, the 2-meter distance between each other, you can use this kind of testing. It's very nice, straightforward, and you will see how it will work. So here it's telling me, hi, one is my name as a student. So I'm student number 1. And as you can see, it's very nice. It looks really catchy. Now, since we put like branching, it will not show me the rest of the questions. So depending on my answer, it will open for me the right questions. So let us select a wrong question. I will select this one. So it will automatically open for me the rest of the questions, because as we said, branching will open for you the set of questions depending on your answer. Now, I will randomly answer the questions just to show you how it will happen. So this is how it will happen. And pay attention here. We have this mic. We will use it down when we come to the text. It is very nice because it will read aloud the text for the student if they have any problem or if they have any special need. Which course we studied? We study risk management. Let me write here statistics and let us see statistics. And we will see whether it will correct it at the teacher side or no. Now here we wrote like a text. This will not be graded. You will see how the teacher will grade it and how it will be reflected. So describe how to do sampling. So we take the example of opening the schools. We study the cases, the new cases. We run formulas, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I will not continue, but this is how you can write a text. Now here, as you can see, I have to select, let me select only one, for example, and I will click on next.
As per the previous discussion, we said we will select all in the multiple, in the checkbox to see the answer.
Yeah, so let me go back and to select all. So first of all, if I selected one, it will not give me a hint that I have to select more. If I selected all, what will be the situation? Now, here you go. This is the text, which could be the case study that you mentioned. Here I can have this the immersive reader, which is very cool. And it will start reading. You see? So now the text is translated to an audio and I can hear it. I'm not sure you can hear the audio or no. You can hear?
No, we cannot hear.
Okay, probably because maybe
you didn't check the setting.
Yes, let me reshare one more time just to show you how it will work. Okay, so, okay, now.
Summit, equipped with oxygen masks,
Can
supplies
you
and
hear?
tents. And in most cases,
Yes,
you'd be right, as 97.
Okay, great. So in this way, the text will be available for the students so they can read it aloud. Also here we have a picture dictionary. If I hover over a word, it will give me a picture of that word. And also I can translate it to Arabic or to any other language. I can do it by word or by document. So by document, if I selected Arabic, as you can see, it's translated.
اقرأ ما يلي. عندما تصوروا متسلقي الجبال الذين يتسلقون جبل أيفرست، فإن ما يعقله على الأرجح هو فرق من المتسلقين مع.
So it was translated to the Arabic. I can go back to the original and here, for example, for Everest, I will see the translation. Climbers, leading. So leading, it have something in the picture dictionary, so it's giving me the translation. Again, these are some of the tools that the student can use. Now, this is the text. What I can do over here, I have to fill in the blanks. So, for example, this is the question, the answer. Here, for example, let us write 42 to see if it will take it. Here, I can see the video. Okay. And even if it is from YouTube, it is embedded. So you really don't need to worry that we are taking them.
Some interruptions, such as phone calls, can be easily avoided by using answering machines, for example. Saying no, which is one of the most useful words in English, is also very...
So when we finish, we'll click on submit, and this is how the student will submit the work. It is giving them thanks, your response was submitted, and I cannot see the result. Okay, I will click on close, and here you go. We submitted with a very nice animation over here, but till now I don't know how much I took on this exam. Now let us go to the teacher side. So here I am at the teacher side. I will discard this because I was just showing it for you. Okay, yes, I need to discard it. I'm very sorry, I didn't read it well. Okay, now I will go to this exam from here, the assignment that I did. Cancel. Let me refresh it. Okay, so here, as you saw, it is writing 1 out of 1 was turned. I will show it to you in a second. So as you can see, 1 out of 1 turned. This means that the student did turn the assignment. Now, as you can see, this is the student work, and the grade is auto-graded for me. It is 4. Now, I will go inside that assignment to double check the auto-grading for the student. And remember that we have one question where the student has to pick, have to write a text, and I have to fix it for them. Now, as you can see, this is the choice of the student, and this is the correct answer. That is why, according to the auto grading, they took 0. So 0 because the answer was wrong. The second one, the answer is correct. This is the one, and they took 1 out of 1. Now here, what is this? Here I'm supposed to, when I click here, I can write, for example, a message. Let me start it from here. So from this one, I will say, for example, read more chapter 14. Okay, so because he did it wrong, here I can write good work. Here it is again wrong. For example, I can write study, practice more, for example. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give my feedback for each question, since it was auto-graded by the system. Now, we wrote statistics, and it was one of the options, so it is considered as 1, and it is auto-graded, which is nice for me. Now here, since it is a text, it will tell me need reviews. So I, as a student, as a teacher, I have to read this answer, and I have to grade it by myself. So I read it, it's good. So here I can put, for example, let us try to put a half. Saving. Okay, because first at the beginning it wasn't accepting the points. But let us see if it will. Okay, great. So now you can put points. So we have 4.5. Great. Now, this is the question of the teacher that said, if he selected all, how it will be considered. So as you can see, it is considered as 0. However, you can rewrite this auto grading and write, for example, again 0.5 if you want to give him a chance. So as a summary, the auto grading is giving you the grade, but you can rewrite it. For the text, you have to write your own, and now it's taking the points. So now you can put 0.5, 0.3, 0.75. Oh, it's not accepting. It's only accepting 0.5. Okay. Now, for the text here, as you can see, I wrote 42 and it is accepted. And here the right question. Now, I finished with grading the student work. I will click on close. And now, how the student will know his grade, I will click on the student and I will say return. When I will say return, all the changes that I did, remember it was 4, but I give him like 1 extra point, 0.5 and 0.5. So now his grade is 5. You see it? And if I go back to the student, let me go back to the student. I should receive a notification. Let me refresh it. I will receive notification that the teacher returned my grade. Okay, so here under the activity, I have a notification that the assignment was returned. So when you click on it, you will see the points. So it is 5 out of 10. Now, if I open the assignment or the form, I will see my mistakes. I will see the teacher notes. You remember we were writing messages for each question. And I can see what I can do, okay, to like make it better in the second exam. So this is the whole scenario of the assignment, from building the assignment on forms to assigning it to the student, to solving it, and then to grading it. Now, one question was coming from the attendee that how can I download these answers? So you have two options. If you want, you can simply export to Excel from the assignment, and I will show you the difference. So this export to Excel will give you a summary, the name of the student and the grade. If I need more details about that specific, as you can see, the name of the student, the email address, so that if we have the same name in the same classroom, we can differentiate the maximum points and how much that student took. Okay, here you will see how much that student took. I don't know why it didn't work. Maybe we have to refresh it. So this is how you will see it at the first place. Now, if I need more details, like I need to have an Excel sheet, what was the question? What was the answer for the student for question number 1, for question number 2, for question number 3, and so on? How can I do it? You see, to return, returned. Now it will work. So how to get the detailed summary of that specific exam? You have to go back to Microsoft Forms. Now, how you go back to any application in Microsoft? From the 9 dots over here, you can navigate all the applications. So when you click on the 9 dots, you can see that you will see all the applications. If you cannot see Microsoft Forms, you can click here and then you will go to Microsoft Forms. Now, let us go to Microsoft Forms. This is the page for you, Microsoft Forms. This is the exam, Math 101 probability. It should be, this is the template. Now you will see it is 0 responses. However, I have some student that answered. So how to take that student answers? Okay, I will go to group forms from here. Under group forms, I will see, okay, again, checking my identity. Okay, under group forms, you will find that exam that you send it for the students, and you can see here which grade, which team, or which course, or which class, if you want. So here I can see that I have one response, which was the student response. Now from here, from the responses, I can also check here the summary. So in here, it will give me a very nice summary. This will help you to check the, to have the analysis per question. So for example, here, most of the student answered it correctly. Here we have most of the student answered number 2. And it will tell you 100 of respondents answered this question correctly. So it's like a small analysis per question. This also will help you as educators to know which specific objective was well explained by your side, and which, for example, an objective that you need to revise because the student didn't get it as of now. Now here you will have open in Excel. And this Excel will give you the specified information about each question and what was the result of the student. So if we open it, okay, as you can see, this is the student, at what time they attempted the exam. So here also For example, you can specify the duration of the student, how much they took time, total points for each question, feedback, problem. Okay, so here for each question, so solve, what is your feedback, and the points here, they took 0.0. So the feedback is what you are writing in the message, and what was the answer here, you will find it. So it is in this way because we point, I guess, 0.5. Okay. So this is the detailed, okay. So the first one is the answer of the student. The second one is the points, how much they took. The third one is the feedback that you put for the student. So this is a detailed one for each and every question. Okay. So this is all for the assignment and type quiz. Any question on this type of assignments?
Yes, ma'am.
Everything great. Yes, tell me.
Is it possible for the teachers to disable the translation?
I don't think so. This is like by default, it is there.
Also, what about voice changing?
What do you mean by voice changing?
There's a reading available, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have a male, you can have male and female. You can have it fast and slow. Okay, these are the settings that you can make. So you can make it read very fast, or you can make it be very slow.
Other than the browser, is there any spell check available for MS Forms by default with Microsoft?
What for the spell check?
For example, if a student is writing about an answer, a paragraph, so in that they want to make sure, for example, they write a wrong, then they will get a wrong answer, right? For example, spelling is wrong in
for
that
the
also.
Dictation?
Yes.
We have to try it actually. We have to try it. Let us see if we will do it
Firefox
here.
does. By default, the browser is supporting. But
yeah, so if it is supporting by the browser, then it is supported by Microsoft Forms. Because for Microsoft Forms, it is taking the setting of the browser. Okay.
What about negative marks, ma'am?
Negative marks? I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether it will accept negative. I don't think so.
Okay, okay.
Let us go. So here, for example, if I'm reviewing review answers, let us try to put a negative. If, for example, this one, here you need to write, for example, -1. So I'm trying to write the minus, but it's not taking. So no, minus, it will not work.
Yes. Because the students, when they are answering wrong answer, we just want to reduce the mark in a way. So it is not possible.
No,
as of,
right? Not supported. So I'm trying to write minus, not taking. Yeah.
In the branching, if the student first comes into one branch and he takes, for example, we have section A and B. So I come to the first section 1, and then is it, can I switch to session B?
What do you mean? So in branching, it is taking you according to your answers. Okay. So for the grading purposes, I did a study in my master's about how we use branching for adaptive learning, and we also included the grading so that we are fair. So for example, for the highest level question, we put, for example, 3 points. For the lowest, for the second level, we put 2 points. And for the lowest level, we put 1 point. So the student, if he didn't answer the level 3, didn't answer level 2, and he ends up in level 1, and he was able to answer level 1, so he will take 1 point. Okay. So in this way, even if I'm able to give him chances to answer to a certain level, the grades will tell me in which level they are in. So if they took, for example, 30 out of 30, it means that they have the full mark for that specific exam. If they took, for example, 10 out of 30, this means that they are in the lower level for all the questions. However, when we tested on around 1,000 students in both English and Arabic. We find out that branching will assist the student by giving them another chance. However, it's really positioning them into the right level. So we are not exaggerating the marks. They are not taking the full mark. And at the same time, they are not being neglected by being able to take 0 if they are not able to answer the question. So my advice is try to do the branching because you are giving a chance for the student, and at the same time, you are not really exaggerating, because if you put the marks in the way I'm telling you, you are really positioning the right like grade for the right level of the student. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Any other question?
In selecting more than one answer, if students select one answer, will automatically get half mark
0.
like that?
0. 0. They
0.
will take 0. It should be the same as the teacher have selected. So if more or less, it will be 0.
Okay, so it will not be distributed?
No, it will not be distributed. It will be 0. However, the teacher can go ahead and change it, as you can see. So at any time, you can change the mark.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, let us continue. We are taking a lot of time. Now we will go to the second type of questions, which is the assignment. So here from the assignment, I will click on create and I will go to the assignment tab. Here, as we mentioned, this could go like a research, writing on a paper, doing the audio, anything in that regard. Now, let us say like here we have exam about case study, for example. Okay. Now, for the instruction, you can simply write it as an instruction. So, for example, read chapter 5. Okay. Pages 1 or 2 till 20. Okay. And write your summary. Okay. This could be option number 1. Now, under the add resource from here, under the add resource, you will have several type of resources. So for the faculty member that asked me about a Moodle exam, for example, if you have it as a link, you can go to the link and you can put it as a link. I'm not sure how it works with the Moodle. If you have the assignment as a link, you can post it here and it will be part of that assignment. Okay. Now, if it is not the case, then you cannot benefit from assignment in Teams. You have to do it all on Moodle. Okay. Now, as you can see, I can as well come here and take any worksheet I have on the OneDrive. If I have it on Class Notebook, and we will speak about Class Notebook in a while. And also, I can go to the new file and I can assign a blank page for the student. So I can assign that page to be Word, to be PowerPoint, to be OneNote. Okay, anything. The student will be able to edit it automatically. Now, let us start with the OneNote because it's very nice and it will open for us the door for the Class Notebook. And here, for example, I can new. So it is, for example, test or listening. Okay. Location in Class Notebook, content library. You have to prepare it ahead of time. So you have to prepare it ahead of time. Okay, let us remove it. I will speak about it in a while. Okay, let me remove it. Now, I will go back to add resource. And I will go back to add a new, for example, word, because this is where the student have to write their case study. Okay, and I will attach. Now, you will tell me why you did this. I did this because I need to facilitate on the student side. I don't need him to go to Microsoft Word, to open a Word, put a lot of data, and then try to upload it, and it will tell him you exceeded the limit. I need to give him a blank Word online where it will not tell him you exceeded the limit, where he can work automatically, doesn't need to do any saving. It will save automatically on their behalf, so that whatever they are writing, they are not missing. Now, pay attention here. It's writing student cannot edit. So you have to click on the 3 dots and you have to change it to student edit their own copy, so that they will be able to use this empty page that you put for them. Okay. Again, this applies to PowerPoint, to Excel, whatever you are teaching the student. Now, for the points, we have something called rubric, and this is what really English teachers, Arabic teachers, like engineering teachers use. So under the rubric, you can create a new rubric, or you reuse, or simply upload if you have a sample. So when you say upload, it should be in the format of .csv file. Okay, so if you have it as a .csv file for the rubric, you can upload it. Now we will cancel, and I will create a new rubric with you. So here we say case study, so that whenever I have a case study, the rubric is ready, I will automatically assign it for my student. Here I will go to the points and I will activate it, so that I will have specified points over here. Now I will start, for example, case study. What are the criteria that I need in the case study? For example, here, introduction. So in the introduction, you have to be to elaborate more, include, for example, plus include evidence, plus include, for example, pictures, include, for example, I don't know what you can, references. Okay. So to take excellent on the introduction, for example, you have to do all these criteria. Okay. Now, if I will give you good, for example, I will copy all of this and I will say here, you missed one of the following. Okay. And I will post it. So you missed one. I don't care which one, but you didn't include all. That's why I will put for you good. Now, here, I will say you missed not only one, you missed two, for example. So I'm trying to do my own rubric. However, I'm sure that each one of you at their own department, they will have rubrics for grading the student. For poor, you missed more than two. I didn't specify, but you missed more than two, and I will put it all of them. Okay. Now, what you can do, this is for the introduction. You can copy it and have it for the body of the case study, for example. And here you can also copy it one more time, and you have for the solution, for your study, or for the result, whatsoever you have. Okay. Again, this can apply to you according to your subject. Now, remember that this will be calculated to have a total of 100. So if you want to shuffle the percentage, you can shuffle, you can change it. For example, here I want to put, for example, 40. Here I want to put, for example, 30. And here I want to put 30. So to me, this is very important. The most important thing is to have these total to be equal to 100. Now I will do attach, And in this way, my assignment is ready to be sent for the student. I have the case study, which is the rubric. I'm assigning it to the whole classroom. Everything down is similar to the assignment of type quiz. Now I will assign it for the student. Any question before we proceed? Any question from the audience side?
No, ma'am.
Okay, great. Now let us go to the student window. As you can see, I have a new notification telling me that we have a new assignment. It's called case study. Now I will open the assignment. As a student, what I have to do. So I read the instructions. I can check the rubric to see how I will take the full mark. So here are the criteria. I will open the Word document, and now I can start automatically write. I can automatically start writing my summary on Word Online, and it is auto-saved. So I don't need to upload, to worry about the internet if I'm working and it is cutting. So while you are working, it is saving your work on the go. Now, let it load. I will show you a very nice features that we have in the Word Online. The first one is this one, which is called Dictate. Let us wait till it will load very well. Okay, so Dictate, I will speak and it will write. I will click on the Dictate from here. I will allow the mic, and here. Good morning, how are you today? I'm writing this summary because it is the case study about Corona, COVID-19 at schools, why they are opening. And here we are doing several studies. Okay, now I will click one more time on the mic so that it will stop. So you click on it to open, and then you click on it to stop. As you saw, while I'm speaking, it is writing my words. Okay, so this will be very easy, or it will ease the work of the student so that they will make a very nice work. And also it's underlying some words and it is giving it as a suggestion. Okay, so what else we have here? Formatting while dictate. So you can fix those things like tips, what to do while you are editing, to take the symbols, Alt plus, the symbols over here, what are they? So you will say asterisks, it will put the asterisks, black lash, it will put this one. So also the symbols, you can say it and it will make it on the go. This is very nice tool, and they are updating it every now and then. Now for the language, here under this wheel, you can select the spoken language. Let us see if we have Arabic. Okay, unfortunately we don't have, but I can see a lot of added languages so far. Okay, so this is how you change the language setting. You put voice command, you put auto punctuation if you need the assistance of the artificial intelligence. So all of these are artificial intelligence components in Microsoft applications. Now, what else we have? We have the transcript. And here, for example, if you have audio, you can upload the audio and it will change your audio into a transcript. Or you can start recording, and while you are recording, you will have the recording, and also you will have the transcript, the written words. So as you can see, and this is very nice for dialogue. For example, it can detect different voices. So it will write, for example, speech number 1 or speaker number 1, it will write the voice. Speaker number 2, it will write the voice. So everything will be ready for you. As you can see, like speaker number 1, they are. This is what I'm saying. I can hear it while you are recording. You will have the recording, and also you will have the transcript, the written. Okay. So now, if you are fine with this, you can click on Add to the document, so it will be added to your document in here automatically. Okay. Okay, so now I have also the recording and I have the transcript. Okay, so these are very two nice updates. They will assist the student on the go. They can benefit from them. And the good thing, look at here, everything is auto-saved. I don't need to click on anything. I finish my assignment. I will click on the close from here and I will say turn in. Now I finished my assignment. I'm ready to do another task. Let us go to the teacher perspective and click on refresh. Any question till now?
Yes, ma'am. So while submitting the assignments, is there any plagiarism software to check?
Okay. So Microsoft is partnering with Turnitin. I don't know if you know it. So you have to purchase the license from there.
We already
if you
have
purchase,
it.
you already have it. Great. So from the admin portal, you will put the license number. So you will put the license number under assignment Teams admin portal. So in the Teams admin portal, we have something called assignment. You will have something called Turnitin. If you put the license number over here, so when the teacher is checking for the assignment, it will give her automatically the percentage of plagiarism. Okay. I can support you as IT on that after we finish this session or later on. Okay, but if you have the license, yes, you can benefit from the Turnitin. Okay.
Another one question is,
after
creating the assignments, will it be possible to assign other teachers to mark all by distributing them?
I didn't get it.
Is it possible to set other teachers to proctor the assignments?
To proctor or to grade?
Marking means yes, proctoring, and grading, yes. Grading.
Grading. So to grade, what you need to do is you need to add the teacher as an owner. Okay. And in grading, I think we have an update. I'm not sure if I am here. I have it. So under the assignment settings, assignment, new student, notification, fun stuff. So what is coming very soon is that when you do the grading, you can select to have it anonymous. Okay, this is not yet here, but you can set to have it anonymous. So you will not see the student name. You will grade and then you will turn it on to see the student name. But as of now, what she can do is to add her as an owner, okay, and she can do the grading. Okay, so anyone in the owner can do the grading.
Okay. So is it possible to set a group activity as an assignment?
Like what? Give me more example about this. What do you mean?
More maybe, I can set 2 or 3 students in one group and they do one set of assignments.
Okay. In the assignment tab, no, but we can do it in the class notebook. I will show you in a while. When I finish this, we will start with the class notebook and we will speak about this. Okay. But in the assignment, they cannot work collaboratively. They have to work, they have to work like separately. So each student will have his own copy.
Is it possible to disable the download?
Download for what?
The question paper.
If you want them to edit, you cannot. And if they are editing the paper, you cannot. What you can do, you can make it as a PDF. You can make it as a PDF. However, as a PDF also they can download it, but you can protect it as a PDF. You can protect it so that even if they download it, they cannot like reuse it. Okay.
Questions cannot be modified in PDF.
Yes. Yeah. They mean like if I put it in Word document, they will be able to modify it. Yeah, if you put it in PDF, they will not be able to modify it. And I will show you how they can write on a PDF when I finish this grading. Okay, so in here, as you can see, automatically when I open the student work, I can see the work on this side. So if you enable the Turnitin, you will find here Turnitin and percentage of plagiarism. So it will be the percentage, it will be written here. So you can say how much, or you will know how much of this work is private or by the student. Now, how to use the rubric? So under the word of the rubric, you will find case study. When you click on it, I now have all the criteria. So for the introduction, which is the first criteria, I can read the introduction. For example, he is having a very poor introduction. So I will select 1. And 1 to me, it translates to 10 over 100 because you remember we put this introduction out of 40. So all this calculation, it will be done on your behalf. So only you have to worry about how or what the criteria that the student really met, and you have to pick it. It will automatically give the grading out of 100. Okay, so now we finished from the introduction. I can go to the body. The body is also poor, so I will select another one. Now it's translated to 17.5, so it added only 7.5. And if you open it, it is telling you that the body is out of 30, and they took 1 out of 30, so this is the added value. Now for the result, again, I will put for them 2 this time just to motivate them. And as you can see, the result is being calculated for me. Now, for each criteria, I have here a feedback. I can write for them, you need to elaborate more. Okay, like this. And then you will go to body. Here you will say, you need to include more evidence. Or maybe you can write what they really missed out of the criteria of success, and so on. So when you finish everything, you will close it, and the grade will be calculated here for you automatically. Also, you can add the feedback for the whole case study. So you can do better. For example, you can do better. Okay. And then you will return it for the student. So again, in this way, I'm grading using the rubric. It's not auto-graded, but it is here auto-calculated. So the calculation is done for you. If you go back to the student, we will see that I received notification telling me that the teacher graded the assignment and I took 32.5. I have a feedback over here. And now if I open the rubric, I can see what are the criteria that I met. And if there is any feedback from the teacher, it will be written for me. So in this way, as a student, I really know why the teacher gave me that mark. So I cannot bother the teacher asking her what's happening, why you did like this, why you did like that. So this will help you a lot when you are grading the student. Any questions so far?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, you have showed about the voice recognition there. So is it possible for teachers also to prepare the question paper? That is the question.
Yeah, sure. She can use Word online and she can put her voice and it will be translated to a text.
Yeah, automatically the collaboration is done, right? Calibrate of voice is done by Microsoft.
Yes, correct.
To answer the questions, is it possible we can restrict, they can use only the files in MS Teams directly?
Uploading something, you mean?
Instead of making them to download, can we restrict them only to use MS Teams?
I didn't get it. What you mean?
The Word file supposed to open only inside the Teams. It should not go download.
We cannot restrict this. No. Why you need to do this?
Most of the time, here we feel the student may copy or they may get from their friends and then they will upload. Now, to avoid all this, we just prefer if there is a platform where they are restricted to type.
We will do it with the class notebook. I think that will work with you because they cannot download it. They will work online, only online. We will see it now. Okay. So, any question on this type of assignments? If no, yeah.
So the feedback you have given, can it be in red color? Can we change the colors? Also, there was one more question. Can we change the theme color? Now, maybe some people may not have the thing. In forms, yes, it is possible to change the theme color and the theme image as well. So is it possible for you to just touch once in that?
For the feedback, we cannot. You see the format in the class notebook, it is there. However, what you can do is, because of Word, you can give messages. And here, you can write feedback as a message, this one. So you can write comments. For example, here you can write the author. For this point, for example, you can write need to put or to include references. Okay, you can write, for example, insert. So this is number one, and you can see it. The author has here. So here also you can write another one like try. No, here. Try to elaborate more. Elaborate more. Okay, something like this. So this is what you can do.
Okay.
Okay. You need anything else on this before we close it?
As of now, no other, because the voice was the last one.
And the okay. Okay. Let us go back to the class notebook. I will open this one and we will start like a scratch for the class notebook. 1 minute. Okay, so now I will go to the class notebook and we will set it together, me and you will see what are the benefits of having a class notebook in all means. Now, here it is telling me you need to set it up. Yes, I need to set it up. I will click on set. I will have two choice, either blank notebook or from existing. So if you have it like set previously, and this is what I was telling you, so if you set it like last year, you can reuse it. But if this is your first time, we will click on blank notebook from here. Now it's telling me that you have 4 different spaces. You have collaboration space where students are collaborating with the teacher. And this is what you ask about like an activity for the student where they are working together. We have a content library, which is a read-only where I can put all the resources as a faculty member. Teacher-only section here, I can put, for example, my grades, my lesson planning, everything that I don't need to share it with teachers, no, not with teachers, with the students, and I don't need anyone to see it. Student notebook, this is like a private between each and every student, so no other student can see the work of their colleagues. However, the teacher can check all the work. Now here I will click on next, and I will have the sectioning for each student. So for example, for student number 1 or student number 2, what are the common sections or common notebooks? So here we have handouts, class notes, homework, quizzes, anything, or maybe activities. Anything that comes to your mind, you can add it over here. If you don't need something, you can simply remove it in this way. Now we will click on create, and our class notebook will be ready for us to use it. Okay, now we have the class notebook. As you can see, this is the first page, the welcome page. If you open it in this way, you will see the collaboration space, content library, teacher only, and here are the sections for each student. So here I have, for example, this student. If I click on the student, I will have his own copybooks, and I'm the only one who can see it along with this student. And also here works for the student. So you will have lists. All students that are member in your team, they will have their own special copy, like a copybook, but it is digital one. Okay. Now, what we can do over here, first of all, you can change all of this. Select A, remove it. Now go back up to the class notebook. Here you can say, for example, welcome to research, the name of the team, research 1. Here on the research 1, you can add, for example, a syllabus. And for the syllabus, you can say insert, and you can add it as a PDF, as an attachment or a printout. So in this way, you will have everything accumulated for the student as if you are having it on the, as if you are giving them all these handouts. You can put it in one place so that they can go back to it anytime they need it. So you can put the syllabus, you can write your office hours over here, like TTH from 4 till 5.
Excuse me?
Yes. Yes, yes.
Other teacher is asking you to slow down a little bit. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Because of the timing, we don't have a lot of time. I'm trying to do my best.
We do have short time. Okay.
Okay, no worries. I will try my best. Okay, so this is just some ideas of what you can put on the first page. It is at the end, you can decide. So here, under the insert, you can insert a table. You can insert file as a printout or as an attachment. We will have examples on these. You will insert a picture. You can take it from your camera, from your file, or from online. You can search it automatically. The audio is as well over here. As you can see, we have the audio, so I can record my voice. So this is something very nice for you if you have a listening. So you can record the listening text by your voice. You will say stop, and in this way you will have it recorded in your page. And now I will show you, if you prepare the question on Microsoft Forms, how you can put it over here. Okay, so let me make it in another page. So this is for the welcome. Don't make it complicated. I will share with you here an example. Look at this. So this is my welcome. I put it as an image. Okay, so I have it like this is the real virtual classroom. And after I prepared all these pages, I will show you how to make links between the first home page, which is this one, the image. And when I click, it will take me to the specific page. This is also something nice. We will be doing it together. Okay. Now let us go back to here. So this is my home page. I will open it in this way, and I will go to the content library. Why to the content library? Because there is where I'm preparing most of the work. Okay. So here, for example, I need to prepare, for example, a page here. So this is the section, the content library. I will click on a page and I will say listening exam. Now pay attention. If you put it on the content library, student will see it. If you don't need the student to see it, you have to keep it under the teacher only section. Now, listening exam. From here, I will put insert and I will record. It was a very nice sunny day. I was walking along with my students in the campus and we saw a lot of new students. We tried to encourage them on the go, and it was a very welcoming first day at the university. So I just posted something as a recording. So for the teacher that asked me about the recording or the listening, you can record straightforward from the class notebook, and this will be available like you can see here. Now, how to put the questions for the student? You will go to the insert from here, and you will, you cannot see it. So here you will click on the three dots and you will find forms. So forms is the one that we just use it for the quizzes. You can reuse it over here. Okay. So for example, let me refresh because I think it didn't took the latest update. Okay, I will pick any one of these. So for example, this one, math. Okay, so once I finish from the forms, look at this. The audio is here and the questions or the multiple choice are here. So now this is ready for you, a ready exam for you with everything in hand. So you have the audio and you have the questions. Okay. So this is one way of doing the exam. Now, how to assign it for the student? Because for the student, this is a read only. If I go to the student class notebook from here, this is a read only page, so I cannot like write or I cannot interact with it. How to send it for the student? See how we can send it for the student. I will go back to the assignment, okay? So I prepared it on the class notebook, correct? Here, I prepared it on the class notebook under the content library. I will go back to the assignment from here, going back to the assignment because I want the assignment from there. I will click on get started. I will click on create and I will select assignment, okay? Now, here I will write, for example, listening. I will come to the add resource. And I will say new file, one class notebook. Okay, listening. So content library. Okay, if you don't need them to see it, you can put it under teacher only because you can select also from the teacher only. Content library for now because we put it over there. Content library. So this is the section. I will say next. Now, where you need to send it to which section for the student? I need to send it, for example, to the class activities, and I will attach it. Okay, student added their own copy. So this is a blank one if you need them to write on it. Now, if we need to reuse, add resources, class notebook. So what is the difference between plus a new file, adding one class notebook page, and the class notebook that is here? This one, when we open that student, you will see it. This one, a new file, it will be a blank page. So the student can reuse it. They can put, for example, their voice, they can write on it, they can do a lot of things. Whereas the class notebook in here, why? Okay. So they cannot upload more than one. Let me send this one and I will say here, listening empty page. I will assign it. Now create assignment, listening, and I will say here, ready page. Okay. Add resource, class notebook. Now, where I put it in the content library. Using the content library. And the page name is called listening exam, correct? Was it listening exam or listening exam, correct? Attach. Okay, and I will give it, so these are the sections of the copybook, as if this is the copybook of the student. So I will put it, for example, under the homework, and I will say done. I should have write the title. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to double check the page. Okay, so this is not the one. So it's not listening exam. I'm very sorry for this. I will remove it and I will add it one more time. Class notebook, content library. Listening. Okay, let us put it in the homework and we'll click on done. Okay, now what I did here, I attached, it should be the one, let me double check it. Yes, it is. It's not the one. Okay. 1 minute, but let me check the class notebook page that we created over here and why this on. Okay, it was listening exam, but why it didn't open automatically. I'm very sorry for this. Something weird is happening over here. Two pages were created. Okay, so here, listening. Final, for example. Okay, and I will assign it. Now let us go to the student perspective to see the difference between all these assignments that I shared with them. Okay, I will go to the student from here. I will see the notifications that he just received. Let me refresh the page. Okay, research. So under research, I received 3 assignments. Okay, let us check them one by one. So the first one, we said this is the empty page, and I will show you why you can like attach an empty page. Listening. So this is the page. This is the solution that Gino was asking me about. So in the PowerPoint and in the home, you can upload this page and you have it on your PC. Now here, if I put for you any question, you cannot download it. You can only open it in an app. So it is saved in an app. It is not saved as a paper that I can share it in anywhere. Now here, as a student, I can have a variety of tools that I can use. Number one, for example, you can give me a PDF. So insert, under insert, file, insert PDF, choose file PDF, and I can put, for example, test, this one, and I will say insert. Now, what will happen over here? I attach the file, the second one, as a printout. So what is a printout? As if I'm going to the photocopy machine and I'm printing out my test. So now you will see it when it's loading. As you can see, This is the PDF. It is a story. Now the student here, for example, can annotate, can do whatever they need. How to annotate on a PDF? I will go to the draw from here. As you can see, I'm in a page. So I will go to the draw and I will pick the pen, and I can pick the right color from here. If I want to change the color, I can pick the thickness of the pen. So for example, I need it very thin. Now here I can, for example, the first arrow, so pen. Okay, it's not taking quickly. Let me make it thicker. I think I'm having some technical. Okay, the internet is still loading. That's why. Okay, so I can annotate quickly, automatically on the PC. It's a problem because it is on the cloud. So while I'm doing it, I can write, for example, this is settings. It's lagging a little bit. I think this is because of the internet connection. However, student can also open it in an app and it will be easier for them. Okay, you can highlight, you can write, you can do whatever you need, because now you have the pen and you can write on this PDF. You can erase, you can highlight. So let us highlight. So for example, this is a very important word. I can highlight it. So these are the tools that can be used as a student. Also as a student, if he inserted, he can insert an audio. So since this is the space of the PDF, we cannot type here. However, let me go to the draw and select this one. So always when you finish from the draw, select this one from here so that you can use the remaining tools. I'm very sorry, but a lot of disturbance from my customers. Okay, so these are some of the tools that the student can do using an empty page. They can write, they can type, they can use their audio, they can draw on a page. Everything can be done. And as you can see, I cannot download it and it is auto-saved. So now if I close it, the teacher will have everything here and I can turn it in. So this is the alternative way of sending the assignment via a Word document. However, as you saw, sometimes if the internet is not good, they need to open it in an app so that it will be much easier for them. So here I have it in an app. In an app, you can write it. As you can see, it is much faster for you to annotate on a PDF which is opened as an app. Make sure you have it opened as a OneNote for Windows 10. Okay, this is the latest update. And as an app, you will have a lot of variety of colors. Okay, so this is the first assignment, which was a blank page. Now let us go to the final one, which was prepared by the teacher. So I need to interact with the teacher on that assignment. So here I'm doing the listening exam that the teacher shared it with me. I can listen for the audio. It was a very nice sunny day. I was walking along with my students in the campus and we saw a lot of new students. We tried to encourage them on the go and it was a very welcoming first day at the university. Okay, so here I'm supposed to have the form. However, I'm not sure why this happened. It could be because I did already the form, or maybe it didn't recognize my username and password. Okay, here we go. So I have it, the form, but normally it will upload within the class notebook. You can utilize it within the class notebook. Okay. So here also you can make ordering the theory. Okay, submit. Okay, so when you finish, you submit it, and also here you will click on close. So now in this way also I finished everything. I cannot download it. Everything is ready. I will turn in the exam. So these are two alternative ways. I'm sure that like class notebook is a little bit weird for you. What I really advise you is to use the Word, the PowerPoint, the Excel, the Microsoft Forms. Now, this class notebook is nice for the activities. Let me go back to the class notebook to show you how to do an activity in a class notebook for several students. From here, when I open the, okay, 1 minute. So here I'm in the student. No, I need to be at the teacher. So at the teacher perspective, because at the teacher, you can do the management. For the student, as you can see, it will be, everything will be closed. You cannot edit anything unless you are in your specific page. Now, for the student, for the teacher, sorry, it is recommended if you want to do an activity to click here, open in, and make it open in application. Okay, why? Now let us open it in application to see. When you click on open in application, you will come to the application site. Now, under the class notebook, we will have something called here manage notebook. Why we will need the manage notebook? You will see. When you click on the manage notebook, it will open for you a page. I'm very sorry, it is a little bit complicated. However, it has a very nice feature. So this is the page that it was opening. Okay, I prepared it before time so that I will skip this part. Okay, now I am in the manage notebook page. What I can do here, look at this very important feature. Under the collaboration space, this one, I can click on the collaboration space, and here I can create a group of like a group where students can work as a group collaboratively on that specific page. So here I have, for example, I'm very sorry for this, add section. And then under the add section, I will name it, for example, this is a group activity 1. Now, if I have more than one student, I will have the list of all the students in my classroom. What I can do, I can click from here the list of students or the group of students that I need them to work collaboratively on that same page. So in this way, I will give them the editing mode and I will say create. Now, what will happen when I put an activity? All the students that are part of this group activity will have this page in their group. Now, each student can edit that on his own, okay? So let us see how it will work. So for example, I'm here a student under the collaboration space. We did it, let me check where we did it, what it is in the تحضير صف الرابع. Let me go to that part. تحضير صف الرابع. Class notebook. Okay, here you go. So for me as a student, I will see that I'm part of these groups. For other students that are not part of these groups, they will not see the page. They will not see the section. Now here under group activity, it is an empty page. Let us put something. Let us put, like, for example, activity 1. And here under insert, I can say insert, print out. So for the print out, it could be a Word document or it could be a PDF. Let me put this one, extra support. I did a lot of steps because I wanted to show you the maximum out of it. However, I have a very shortened video on this. I can share it with you as well, which will guide you into step by step for this. Okay, again, so I have it like this, as you can see it. Now here, if I go to the student, let me refresh. Okay. Collaboration space. Okay. So why this is nice for the collaboration? For example, if I write here, this is me, Solange, you will understand it more if we did like hands-on activity. What we can do is we can press on view from here and we can say see the page versions. So when we see the page versions, you can see here that Solange at this time she had an update. And also we have something called show authors, which is very nice for the collaborative work. So for the show author, it will tell me that Solange included this PDF and test one, which is the student that I'm using his account, wrote this letter. So this is why I really advise you to use class notebook with the activity if you have a group activity of students. In this way, you will see who is really interacting with you, who is really writing in that group. And this is all can be done through the view, page versions, and show authors. Okay? I hope I didn't make it very complicated for you. I know that I opened several pages, but I had several problems today. It's the internet, it is the application. So any question?
Yeah, there's one question.
Yes.
The similar thing is available in Moodle also.
Good.
So they are asking why I need to prefer this over Moodle.
Great question. Thank you for asking this question. So I don't know if you have analysis in Moodle. However, here in Microsoft Teams, we have some sort of analysis under the Insight. We shed light on Insight last time, yeah?
Yes.
Yes. Now, we spoke about the Insight for the meeting perspective. Now, since we have the assignment ready, we can see the assignment analysis. So as I said last time, you can see, for example, who did the assignment, at what time, what is the average grades. You can let me show you. When it's loading, I will show you all the points regarding the Insight. And for me, the Insight is the one that make difference. And for the assignment, what makes difference, I don't know if you have it in Moodle, but the integration of Word, PowerPoint, and Excel, which is embedded within Teams, is really an advantage. You have this integration in Moodle. So for example, if I'm preparing a research, okay. So this is an added value because I'm a parent and usually the teacher is asking from us to upload work or do like this. It's very hard for us to upload because sometimes we are exceeding the limit. Sometimes it is not working. You will find a lot of problems. Sometimes the internet will shut down automatically or the battery will go down or anything else while you are working. So working online for the assignment is a great advantage. And also here in the assignment where we will have some sort of analysis. Now, I think we did it in this one, تحضير صف الرابع, because we have several assignments so that it will be much we'll have some data. Okay, so look at this. From the back, like from the main screen, you will see that 0 missed submissions. So you are on the safe side. Your students are submitting all your work. And the average grade, you can see here the average grade. So you don't need really to do the analysis. It is straightforward for you here. Now, if we check assignment status, if we click to find more, we can see here, for example, for each assignment, where are we? So here, assigned, viewed, turned in, returned. So most of my assignment are returned, except this one, which is turned by the student, but I didn't grade it. So this is nice for me as a summary to see like what are the assignment that I still need some effort to work on. And here also to see from the student perspective. So from the student perspective, which assignment had the most late submittal, which assignment has multiple. So I give, like, for example, I open the closing date and I give time for the student to submit more. So this is one of the analysis that you will get. And then here you will say load more assignments. So if you have more assignments, you can see it. You can search per student or per the whole student. Now, if we go back to the insight, under the average grades, also here we can have another type of analysis. So for this one, for example, I can see for the whole assignment, this month, whole student, the distribution view, we can see it in this way or in the trend way. So this is the trend way. So I can see that the low point was 33, the high point was 33, the average is this one, and this is for the case study assignment. So these type of analysis are very nice for you, where you can really toggle between them, and you will see it like in front of your face. And for sure, everything you can download it or export it as Excel sheet as well. I'm not familiar with Moodle, but we wanted to show you these tools that we have by Microsoft. If you want to use it, you are free to do so. If you feel that it is a little bit like complicated, also you are free not to use it. So this is the same summary that we saw it last time. But at this time, since we have more assignments, you can see some data over here. Under the assignment tab, and under the summary, I can see the average for that specific student. Okay. Okay, anything else?
As of now, no other questions, ma'am.
Okay, great. Okay, and that's all from my side. I hope you enjoyed the session. We talk about the assignment and the class notebook. If you like it, you have to start practicing them. I have some videos that I can share with Gino, which are more specified for each and every one, along with this recording that we have. Okay.
Guys, any questions so far?